Okay, here I am. Lucy just went outside real quick to say hello. Someone of her friends are parking outside. Went to the balcony and came back. Here she is again. She's just got back. Lucy, that's not polite. She don't care. All right. So the first story today that I went over, which is this continuing story right now. So I don't know, if you'll get bored by it or not, but it deals with the uh, UFO situation. They released a whole bunch of information about the UFOs that they hadn't released before, and everybody's talking about it. And it's like this. Now, I'm not going to say that UFOs are out there, but to be arrogant enough to sit here and say that it's impossible for life to exist in other planets because God chose this one is bullshit. All right, you have to look at it this way: probability that there's life like us someplace else in the world, look like us and everything, like our duplication of us, it's not probably very high. It's probably tiny, 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 tiny possibility of that. But the possibility that life exists that's not similar to us, could be more intelligent than us, but definitely different appearance than us, is probably 100% positive. I just don't. You look at all the planets, suns, stars, moons, everything that are out there, the numbers are staggering. And to simply say, no, we're the only life in the universe, well, maybe this particular universe, yeah. But there's galaxies, there's universes, this universe consists of 9 planets. Eight, well, eight, I guess, because Pluto's not a planet anymore. Circling a sun. There are billions, quite possibly trillions of stars out there. And you're going to say this is the only one that's got things we call planets circulating them. We've already discovered there are planets circulating other suns and stuff like that. They say they could support life. What kind of life? They say they could support life similar to ours, but they can support life, maybe. You know, Even in our own sort of universe here, I mean, who's to say that underneath those, well, what's the cloudiest covered planet? I think it's Venus, right? Even in there could be a life form that's unlike anything we've ever seen before. Could it be as intelligent as us? Of course it could be. Could it be more intelligent? Probably, if it's because anything that's out there, anywhere else in the planetary in the universes is probably older than we are. And if you go by saying that evolution is present everywhere in every life form, then obviously it's quite possible that there are people out there smarter than we are. Now, if you have UFOs flying around, I think the thing that scares people about UFOs more than anything else is that they're smarter than we are. And an example of how smart they are is they don't come to land and try to talk to us because they're too smart for that. They're not shy. They know we're assholes. We haven't that we're probably the youngest life form in the cosmos. So therefore, people aren't going to jump out of the land and say, "Hey, yo, how's everything going here?" No, they're not doing that. All right, they're more likely to blow us off the face out of the cosmos, because we're a threat to them. But we're not that far advanced yet where we can go out and they can consider us a threat. But if all of a sudden the UFO sightings do either stop completely or increase, then you have something to worry about. Stop completely means they don't want anything to do with us because of AI. Okay, maybe they are AI. Maybe their planets have developed beyond AI. Who knows? But this, it's an arrogance that we have that there's nobody else, that there's no other life form, intelligent life forms in the cosmos. That's arrogance. All right. Mathematically, it's quite possible. Statistically, you know. So anyhow, that's UFOs are beginning to become a subject that's sort of like politics and religion. You know, you don't want to get into an argument because there isn't a real answer yet. Nobody knows for sure. So you know, we'll just let that go. Did you hear the story about where people are lining up for toilets in longer lines than they are for the American exhibits at this art exposition in Europe? I don't know why they would do that. I think what it's going on isn't it isn't against the particular artist; it's against America. It's against Trump's policies. He's ruining the image of America. He's doing a better job of ruining images than Hitler did. You know, that's the surprising thing. We're almost back. We're probably beyond the ugly American stage that we were after World War II, when our arrogance made us very unpopular. Lucy, what are you doing? Hey, don't do that. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, good girl. You know, our arrogance. That's how we. That's where we got the ugly American title from. The ugly American title dealt with the fact that felt superior to everybody. That's Trump. Trump's not an ugly American. Trump's just a fat slob, you know. Uh, but he's doing a pretty good job of reinventing the title "ugly American." So it's like you got to be nice to people if you want to survive in this world, you know, in this universe or on this planet, because there's not we're going to run out of room eventually if we don't expand, you know, if we don't start traveling to other planets or something like that, or find another place to colonize. We're going to run out of room here. We're going to run out of food here. People have said that's why we have wars every once in a while, is it's population control, you know. uh, yeah, but after every war there's a huge boom in population, so wars aren't helping it. The war isn't the answer to population control. uh, Contraceptives, limited pregnancies and stuff like that. That'll help. That'll slow down the process, but it's not going to stop it completely. And you don't want to kill people just for the sake of killing them. Although Trump does, probably. You know, he would go along with that. You know, but if I was to see, I consider Donald Trump and myself in the same group. We're 80 years old, and we've done everything we're going to do. And having us around is not necessarily conducive to population control. It's if you have to make room for the younger people. You know, I don't care how you do it. You know, but just you have to make room for younger people because that's new. That they bring new ideas, new intellectual purposes, new art forms, new music forms. All of this stuff. It's all part of the evolutionary process. So if you as we are now, we're keeping the older people like myself around much longer, and I'm grateful for that. You know, I'm ready to go wherever the next step is, but I'm grateful for the fact that we're around and that we can give our knowledge to younger people. But you have to make room for the younger people, and politics doesn't do that. Politics lets the old people hang out as long as they want because nobody wants to be a politician. Ask a kid what he wants to be in school. It ain't going to be a politician because they're not well liked for the most part outside their own little group that gets them elected. You know, you have to lie a lot, you have to cheat a lot, you have to do a lot of things in politics that a lot of people don't like to do. Some people are naturals at it, like Trump. He's a pathological liar. He has no idea what the truth is. He's been told since he was a little boy that he's the smartest man in the room. That's a lie. And he's been told he's special. That's a lie. You know, people are depending on the definition of special. He is a huge asshole. I guess that makes him special. Oh boy. Oh well. That's the I've pissed him off enough today. AI is. I don't know where they got the idea that AI would cure loneliness. AI is not a. It's not an entity that can sit down and have a conversation of different opinions, if you know what I mean. It can't have a conversation about romance. Oh, it could, but it won't give you uh, an opinion that may or may not make any sense to you. It'll give you the most logical answer, or it won't give you any options to that. And that's what AI is. And I guess you got to get used to that. And you got to understand it because that's AI, folks. So if you guys are thinking about that, you gotta. I don't know how to say that, but you have to understand that AI is a. I don't know how to say it. It's actually more or less a computer program that it can learn, but so can regular programs. You can. The original computer is only as good as the information you put into it. Artificial intelligence allows the computer to think, to analyze, to expand its horizons beyond it's programmed to do. That's where artificial intelligence gets into trouble. Uh, but people who explain artificial intelligence different. It's to speed up and assist the computer operation. No, yeah, well, maybe. It's to solve problems we're not capable of solving. Well, it's not that we're not capable of solving. It's the artificial intelligence is doing what computers were supposed to do. They're taking up the problem solving ability and improving it tenfold. Artificial intelligence is able to learn from mistakes, whereas a computer program doesn't necessarily learn from its mistakes. The human that's putting the information into the program can learn from its mistakes, but they want the artificial intelligence to be more human, like be able to learn from its mistakes. The problem with that is artificial intelligence is greater because it's of its speed, of its intellect, and everything else that is capable of making huge mistakes at a very rapid rate, and it's those mistakes can be very difficult to stop. It's just nature. Oh wow, man, I'm tired. Ooh, what else do I have to talk about? Nothing. But don't expect a robot to come up and be your best buddy and take care of your loneliness. You know, don't be a hand job because if it's squeezed too hard, you won't have to worry about hand jobs anymore. Okay, that's it for me. I'm out of here. I'm headed for the woods. Won't be here tomorrow. Uh, hit the like button if you're going to watch my video. Do something. I need to know you're out there right now. On the live side, I've got no way to know if anybody's out there, and I don't know what's going on. I'm not seeing comments. I don't know how to adjust it. I have to go back in again. I went through everything this morning, and it's set the same way it was before, so I have no idea what's going on. Uh, so let's see. Participants. Moderation, no. Timestamps, no. Reactions, yes. Participants, I'm one of them, I guess. I don't know. All right, listen up. I'm out of here. I got to try to figure this out. It's confusing to me. I'm not a genius with this is concerned. I could take the hardware part of it apart and fix it, but the programming part of it's not my thing. So anyhow, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Like I said, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be back Monday. And everybody, be safe and have a fun weekend. Ciao.